There's two things you need to know about me. First, I've only ever owned one pair of over-the-ear headphones, and that is these, the M50X headphones from Audio-Technica. And as you can tell, I've owned these for a very long time, 6 years, in fact. And aside from all the pleather that's clearly worn off the cups, I've absolutely loved them. The second thing you need to know is I am not what they call an audiophile, nor am I anything close to an audio expert. So when I tell you that for the last month, I've been using the new NTH-100 headphones that Rode sent me, this is all coming from the perspective of a regular dude who likes to make good YouTube videos, listens to music while he works, and of course does a little bit of gaming whenever there's a little bit of time. With that context now established, here's how I would summarize these headphones. From a purely sound perspective, if you are someone who only uses headphones to listen to music, play games, watch movies, you may feel disappointed with the sound when using these. That is, depending on what you're currently used to. However, if you are a creator who does any type of work with audio, which pretty much every creator does, these might be your new favorite pair of headphones. I'll explain why I say all this in just a minute, but first let's back up and just appreciate the design of these headphones. From both the looks and functionality, I think Rode nailed it. Now, these aren't as travel friendly as the M50X headphones, but Rode makes up for it in other ways. For example, this headband right here has a little locking system that lets you fine tune exactly how you want your headphones to fit and lock into place. And it does a great job at doing that. One feature that I love as a creator is the ability to lock your cable into either side of your headphones. So now, regardless of where your audio equipment is sitting on your desk, you don't have to worry about a cable running across your chest like I've been having to do with my other pair. Perhaps my favorite feature of these headphones from a physical standpoint is the memory foam cushions that actually have a cooling gel in them. And that's not just marketing lingo. These things are legit. I have worn these for hours upon hours, and not once have I taken them off to notice any kind of sweating around my ears. And when you put them back on, you can actually feel how cool these things feel on your head. And the added foam on top makes these headphones even more comfortable to wear for long periods of time, despite weighing 2 ounces more than the M50X pair. And while these are not noise-canceling headphones, they do a really good job at sealing off a lot of that outside noise, especially when I compare that to my M50X. Now let's get back to the important part, sound. When I first put these headphones on, I loved the feel, but then I pressed play and I was not so enthusiastic. Compared to my M50X headphones, I did notice that the sound was slightly quieter despite being on the same volume level on the computer and just had a more flat sound. It still sounded great, but the music it didn't feel as crisp to me. Now, I felt like something was off because Rode has a reputation of putting out really good products. So, not being an audio expert, I went online, did a little bit of digging, and what I found is that headphones like the M50X, what they do is they change the frequency range by adding a noticeable boost to the bass and treble ranges and a dip in the mids. So for stuff like music and gaming, which sounds great with that added bass, the M50X headphones deliver what sounds like a crispier, better audio experience. What Rode is delivering to their headphones is a much more neutral and accurate sound where the frequencies are much flatter across the board, which if you're dealing with any type of audio editing, that's a very desirable thing to have, at least so I'm told. So with that in mind, I wanted to put this to the test with my own YouTube videos. One frustration I've always had in the past is when I'm editing my videos, I'll add in my music and I want it to be just loud enough to, add to the video, but not so loud that it distracts from what I'm saying. But then when I sit down and I watch my YouTube videos back on a TV or on a phone, it doesn't sound the way that I want it to sound, and that's very frustrating. So the last few videos I've been editing with these Rode headphones, and I noticed that I have been getting a much more accurate sound representation because I'm not getting a big boost in my headphones. So the level of music that you're hearing right now is exactly as I intended it to be. Let me know what you think. I should also mention that the added boost the M50X gives is what created that feel that they were louder headphones than the Rode ones. And these Rode headphones, they can get loud. I don't want you to get the impression that these can't be loud. throw the adapter on, plug them into something with a good preamp like the Rode AI1, and these babies can crank. So despite my M50X headphones giving me a slightly better sound with things like gaming and music, the Rode NTH-100s are going to be my new default headphones because not only do I do a decent amount of work with audio, but the functionality and comfort, for me at least, outweighs the added boost that the M50X headphones give. Plus, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and YouTube videos tend to be pretty voice heavy, and I've found that listening to people talk, such as podcasts and whatnot, have been a little bit more pleasant for me on the Rode headphones. Speaking of podcasts, if you're someone who's been toying around with the idea of starting a podcast, but maybe you feel a little bit intimidated when it comes to the gear, or you're just working on a tight budget, I would highly suggest looking into this USB microphone from Rode. I did a whole video on this thing, and in my opinion, it is the best microphone on the market for someone who is starting their first podcast, and the entire video is recorded using that mic. So check it out. Let me know what you think.